Hello, dear students, first secondary students. Welcome you all. The mathematics in first secondary is divided into three branches: algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. We are going to start with the algebra branch. And the unit 1 in algebra is called Algebra, Relations, and Functions. The first lesson in this unit is talking about solving quadratic equations in one variable. To solve the quadratic equation in one variable, we have two methods: the graphical method or the graphical solution, and the algebraic method or the algebraic solution. To solve the quadratic equation in one variable algebraically, we have two methods. The first method by factorization, and you studied that in prep stage. The second method by using the general formula. Also, you studied that in prep stage. So this lesson is considered a revision on what you studied in prep stage. Number 1, by factorization. Find in R the solution set of each of the following equations. Number 1, x power 2 minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. This is the form of the quadratic equation in one variable, which is x in our example. And as you see, the highest power of x is x power 2. To factorize this expression, we make two brackets like that, and we distribute x power 2 into x and x like that. Then the sign of the last term here is negative. So we are going to put two different signs. One of them is positive and the other is negative. Then we search for two numbers, their product equals 6 and their difference equals 5. We have 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Both of them gives 6. But which two numbers, the difference between them is 5? 6 times 1, okay? The biggest number is 6. We put it beside the sign which like the sign of the middle term. The sign of the middle term here is negative, so we put 6 inside the negative sign like that. Then we put the number 1 in the other bracket equals 0. Then we have two brackets multiplied by each other equals 0. So either x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 6 equals 0. By solving each equation, we find the values of x. X plus 1 equals 0. Positive 1 will go to the other side with negative sign, so x equals negative 1. And the negative 6 here will go to the other side by positive sign, so x equals 6. Then we write the solution set, which is 6 and negative 1. Another example, number 2. Find in R the solution set of each of the following equations. 4x power 2 equals 25. Here we have a quadratic equation because the highest power of x is 2. The first step, make the equation equals 0. The equation here not equals 0. 4x power 2 equals 25. To make it equals 0, positive 25 will go to the other side with negative sign. So 4x power 2 minus 25 equals 0. So if the equation not equals 0, the first step before factorization, make it equals 0 like that. Then we factorize this expression. This expression, you studied it in prep stage, is called difference, because here we have minus, of two squares, because this term has a square root which is 2x, and this term has a square root which is 5. If we have an expression like that, difference of two squares, we factorize it as you see, 2x minus 5 times 2x plus 5. How? We put two different signs, one of them negative and the other is positive. Then square root 4x power 2 equals 2x. We put here 2x and here 2x. Square root 25 equals 5. So we put here 5 and we put here 5. This is the method that we use to factorize this expression, which is called the difference of two squares. Now we have two brackets, as you see, equals 0. So, as we did in the previous example, each one of them will be equals 0. That means that either 2x minus 5 equals 0 or 2x plus 5 equals 0. By solving the first equation, negative 5 will go to the other side, positive 5. And 2 will go to the other side by division, so x equals 5 over 2. Or by solving the second equation, 5 will go to the other side, it will be negative 5. Then 2 will go to the other side by division, so x equals negative 5 divided 2, it will be x equals negative 5 over 2. Then now we can write the solution set, which is 5 over 2 and negative 5 over 2. The second method, by using the general formula. If the factorization is difficult, we use this method, and also you studied it in third prep. Okay, so we use this method when the factorization of the expression ax power 2 plus bx plus c is not possible or difficult. This method depends on the substituting in the formula to find the roots of the equation. The roots of the equations are the solutions of the equations, okay? And this formula is x equals, do you remember it? X equals negative b, positive or negative, square root b square minus 4ac over 2a, okay? A is the coefficient of x power 2. B is the coefficient of x. C is the free term of x. After determining these coefficients A, B, and C, we replace in or we substitute in the formula to find the values of x. Let's solve some examples. Number 1, find in R the solution set of each of the following equations. We have x power 2 minus 2x minus 6 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation. تعالوا نشوف كده أنا ممكن أعمل factorization هنا ولا لأ. أنا عندي هنا last term اللي هو free of x 6. أنا عشان أعمل factorization ببقى محتاج two numbers البرودكت بتاعهم 6 والديفرنس 2. طب إيه two numbers اللي البرودكت بتاعهم 6؟ We have 1 times 6 equals 6. Their difference 6 minus 1 equals 5, not equals 2. So I can't use these two numbers. We have also 2 times 3 equals 6. But their difference 3 minus 2 equals 1, not 2. So I cannot solve this equation by factorization. In this case, we use the general formula. Okay? As you see, the expression is difficult to be factorized, so we use the general formula. The first step, we find or we determine A and B and C. A is the coefficient of x power 2, which is not written here, and the coefficient, if the coefficient is not written, so it will be 1, as you know. The coefficient of x here is negative 2, so B equals negative 2. The free term of x here is negative 6, so C equals negative 6. After that, we write the formula, which is x equals negative b, positive or negative, square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Then we substitute by a, b, and c in the formula. It will be equals negative 2 positive or negative square root b equals negative 2, so we have negative 2 all to the power of 2 minus 4 times a, which equals 1, times c, which equals negative 6, over 2 times a, it means 2 times 1. Then we find the value of negative 2. Negative 2 equals 2. Then we find the value of the operation inside the square root by using calculator. You will write negative 2 all to the power of 2 minus 4 times 1 times negative 6. You will get 28 over 2 times 1 equals 2. Now we have 2 positive or negative square root 28 over 2. That means that we have two values of x. One of them 2 plus root 28 over 2. The second is 2 minus root 28 over 2. By using calculator, you can find the value of each one of them. The first value of x will be 1 plus root 7, and the second value of x will be 1 minus root 7. And now the solution set is 1 plus root 7 and 1 minus root 7. Another example, find in R the solution set of the following equations. X plus 5 over x equals 4. In this equation, as you see, we have x in the denominator. The first step, we must get rid of this x, which is in the denominator. How? We have in the denominator x, so you must multiply the whole equation by x. If you have in the denominator x power 2, so you must multiply the whole equation by x power 2 and so on. Okay? So we are going to multiply the equation by x. As you see, x times x equals x power 2. 5 over x times x equals 5, because we have 5 over x times x. This x will be cancelled with this x, so the remainder will be 5. Equals 4 times x equals 4x. As you see, by using this method, we get rid of the x in the denominator. Now, we must make this equation equals 0. So 4x will go to the other side by the opposite sign. Here 4x is positive, it will go before the equal sign by negative sign. So the equation will be x power 2 minus 4x plus 5 equals 0. Now we can determine a, b, and c, and then we use the formula. A is the coefficient of x power 2. It is not written, so it will be 1. So a equals 1. The coefficient of x here is negative 4, so b equals negative 4. The free term of x here is 5, so c equals 5. And we write the general formula, which is x equals negative b positive or negative root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Then we substitute in the formula. Here we have b equals negative 4. Negative 4, it will be 4. Okay? Inside the square root, we have b squared. Negative 4 all to the power of 2, it will be 16. Then minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 5. Okay? Over 2a, 2 times 1, because a equals 1 equals 2. Then we find the value inside the square root, which is 16 minus 4 times 1 times 5. Okay? This operation will give you negative 4 inside the square root. We know that the square root of negative real number is meaningless. Okay? So square root negative 4 does not belong to R, and in this case, the solution set will be 5. To solve the quadratic equation in one variable graphically, you will find that we have three cases. The first case, after drawing the graph of the quadratic equation, you will find that the graph or the curve of the quadratic equation intersects the x-axis at 2 points, like that. In this case, so the solution set will be L and M, the 2 points on the x-axis, as you see from this figure. This is the first case. Let's solve an example related to case 1. Find graphically in R the solution set of the equation x power 2 minus 2x minus 3 equals 0 using the interval -2 and 4. As you see, the required here is to find the solution set graphically. The first step, let f of x equals x power 2 minus 2x minus 3, the equation you have in the question. Then to graph this quadratic equation using this interval by using calculator. لما باجي استخدم الكالكليتر بدوس مود، بيطلع لي الليست اللي قدامي ديت، بختار تيبل اللي هي عندي اهي نمبر 7، فبدوس 7. الكالكليتر بلاقيها كاتبه لي f of x equal، ده الديفولت بتاع الكالكليتر. بكتب الايكويشن او الفانكشن اللي عندي اللي هي x باور 2 minus 2x minus 3. ازاي بكتب الاكس؟ الاكس موجوده هنا اهي اللي هي بالريد، فعشان كده بدوس الفا وبعد كده براكت يطلع لي الاكس. البوتن دوت عشان اكتب x باور 2 طبعا، وبعد كده بكمل عادي minus 2x minus 3 minus 2x يبقى الفا براكت minus 3. بعد ما كتبت الفانكشن بدوس ايكوال، بيطلع لي حاجه ثانيه اسمها g of x، ما بكتبش فيها اي حاجه لان انا عندي فانكشن واحده بس او ايكويشن واحده بس هي اللي انا عايز ارسمها. بدوس ايكوال، بيطلع لي ستارت. ستارت ده هو اول نمبر في الانترفال اللي عندي اللي هو -2، فبكتب -2 وبنلاقيه بيتكتب فوق هنا كده، وبدوس ايكوال بيظهر لي كلمه اند. اند اللي هو اخر نمبر في الانترفال اللي عندي اللي هو 4، فبكتب 4 وبدوس ايكوال، بيظهر لي ستيب ما بكتبش فيها حاجه. بعد كده بدوس ايكوال يطلع التيبل اللي انا هستخدمه عشان ارسم. التيبل ده هلاقي اول نمبر للاكس -2، والاف اوف اكس دي اللي هي الواي اللي هي 5، يبقى -2 5. اللي بعديه هيبقى -1 و0، اللي بعديه هيبقى 0 و -3. عشان انزل تحت اجيب بقيه النمبرز اللي في التيبل بدوس هنا كده، يبدا يجيب لي بقيه النمبرز اللي في التيبل 1 و -4 2 و -3 3 و0 واخر حاجه 4 و5. After using the calculator, this is the table that we are going to use to graph this quadratic equation. The first step in graphing, you draw x-axis and y-axis. As you see, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay? Then we determine the positions of each point. The first point is -2 and 5. -2 on the x-axis, then you go up to 5. So this is the first point. The second point is -1 on x-axis here. 0, do not move up or down in your place. So this is the second point. The next point, 0 and the -3. 0 on x-axis here. -3, move down to -3. It will be here. The next point, 1 and the -4. We start with 1 on x-axis. -4, so you have to go down to reach -4. So this is the next point. After that we have 2 and -3. This is 2 and this is -3. Then we have 3 and 0. This is 3. 0, we said do not move up or down in your place. So this is 3 and 0. Finally 4 and 5. 4 and go up to 5. It will be here. Then we join these points by a curve like that. This is the graph which represents this quadratic equation. To find the solution set, we determine the intersection points with x-axis. As you see, the intersection point here is -1 and the intersection point here is 3. So the solution set graphically is 3 and -1. This is the first case and an example related to it. The second case, case 2. If the curve touches the x-axis at one point, like that. Look at this graph. As you see, the graph of the function touch the x-axis here at this point. So this is the solution set, which is the point L. In this case, we write that the solution set is L, as you see. Let's solve an example related to this case. Example on case 2. Find graphically in R the solution set of the equation -x power 2 minus 4x minus 4 equals 0. Using the interval -5 and 1. The first step, let f of x equal the equation, which is -x power 2 minus 4x minus 4. And to find a table helps you to graph the function, we use the calculator. زي ما عملنا في example اللي كان على case number 1، هنعمل هنا نفس الستبس بالظبط. هندوس مود ونختار تيبل اللي هي 7، فيطلع لي f of x. بكتب الفانكشن اللي عندي او الايكويشن اللي عندي اللي هي نيجاتيف x باور 2 minus 4x minus 4. بدوس equal بيطلع لي g of x، ما بكتبش فيها حاجة. في الستارت بكتب أول نمبر في الانترفال اللي هو -5. أدوس equal بيطلع لي الاند، بكتب آخر نمبر في الانترفال اللي هو 1 وبدوس equal بيطلع لي ستيب ما بكتبش حاجة. بيطلع لي التيبل بالشكل ده اللي هو -5 و-9. البوينت اللي بعد كده هتبقى -4 و-4، اللي بعدها -3 و-1. وعايز اجيب بقيه النمبرز اللي في التيبل، بنزل تحت كده -2 و0، -1 و-1، 0 و-4، واخر حاجه 1 و-9. After using the calculator, this is the table that we are going to use to graph the curve of this function. We draw x-axis and y-axis. As you see, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Then we determine the positions of these points. The first point, -5 and the -9. -5 on x-axis. Then we go down to reach -9. This is the first point. After that, -4 and the -4. -4 and you go down to -4. It will be here. -3 and the -1. -3 here and -1 here. So this is the next point. -2 and 0. -2 on x-axis here. We have 0, so do not move up or down. This is -2 and 0. -1 and the -1. This is -1 and this is -1. 0 and -4. 0 on x-axis. Go down to -4. It will be here. Finally, 1 and the -9. Here 1 and go down to -9. It will be here. Then we match these points to draw the curve of the function. It will be in this form. As you see, after graphing, the curve touch the x-axis here only at -2, and this is the solution set of this equation. So we write the solution set equals -2. This is case 2. The next case, case number 3. In this case, as you see from the graph, we will find that after drawing the curve of the function, we will find that the curve, as you see, does not intersect the x-axis at any point. Okay? In this case, the solution set in R will be phi because there is no intersection points with the x-axis. Let's solve an example related to case 3. Let's solve an example related to the third case. Find graphically in R the solution set of the equation x power 2 plus 2 equals 0 using the interval -3 and 3. The first step, let f of x equals x power 2 plus 2 the equation in the question, okay? Then we use calculator. نفس الستبس اللي عملناها قبل كده. مود 7 اكتب الايكويشن اللي عندي x باور 2 plus 2 x باور 2 plus 2 equal g of x ما بكتبش حاجه. start عندي -3 والاند عندي 3. -3 equal الاند 3 equal ما بكتبش حاجه، بيطلع لي التيبل بالشكل ده. اول بوينت في التيبل -3 و11، اللي بعدها -2 و6، اللي بعدها -1 و3، اللي بعدها 0 و2، اللي بعدها 1 و3، اللي بعدها 2 و6، اخر حاجه 3 و11. After using calculator, the table that we are going to use to graph the function will be this table. To graph, draw x-axis and y-axis like that. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. We determine the points -3 and 11. -3 on x-axis, go up to 11. -2 and 6, -2 and 6. -1 and 3, -1 and 3. 0 and 2, 0 and 2. 1 and 3, 1 and 3. 2 and 6, 2 and 6. Finally 3 and 11, 3 and 11. Match these points by a curve like that. After drawing the curve of the function, as you see, the curve does not intersect the x-axis at any point. In this case, the solution set will be phi, and these are the 3 cases of finding the solution set of the quadratic equation graphically. Remark: in case of the interval is not given. احنا لو افتكرنا الاكزامبلز اللي فاتت كان في كل اكزامبل بيديني انترفال بتساعدني في الدروينج، ولما كنا بنجيب الكالكليتر عشان اطلع التيبل كان الانترفال دي بستخدمها في الستارت والاند. الريمارك دي يا اولاد لو بقى ما ادانيش في الكويستشن انترفال بنعمل ايه؟ زي ما احنا شايفين then we can graph the function by finding the vertex of the curve. طبعا بعد ما رسمنا كذا اكزامبل شفنا ان الكيرف لازم بيبقى ليه فيرتكس. فاول ستيب هنعملها ان انا هجيب الفيرتكس اوف الكيرف. ازاي؟ بالرول اللي قدامنا دي. الفيرتكس اوف الكيرف بتبقى بوينت، واي بوينت بيبقى ليها اكس كوردينيت وواي كوردينيت، يعني نمبر بحدده على الاكس اكسس ونمبر بحدده على الواي اكسس. النمبر بتاع الاكس اكسس بجيبه من هنا -b/2a. طب النمبر اوف الواي اكسس بجيبه منين؟ من الرول دي f of -b/2a. يعني بعد ما بجيب النمبر بتاع الاكس بعمل ريبليس في الفانكشن بالنمبر اللي انا جبته بيطلع لي الواي، وده هنشوفه واحنا بنحل ايه اكزامبل على الكلام دوت. طيب بعد ما طلعت الفيرتكس بختار some points to the right of the vertex و some points to the left of the points زي ما احنا شايفين كده. then we find some points to the right of it and the same number of points to the left of it. يعني انا لو هختار 2 points to the right لازم اختار 2 points to the left. لو هختار 3 numbers to the right اختار برضو 3 numbers to the left. نحل اكزامبل على الريمارك ديت علشان نفهم اكتر. Now we can determine the coefficients of x power 2 and x and the free term of x which are a, b and c. a equals 4 the coefficient of x power 2. b equals -4 the coefficient of x and the free term of x is C, which is -5. Now we can find the point of the vertex of the curve. First, we determine the x coordinate by using the rule -b over 2a. -b يعني -4 over 2a يعني 2 times 4 8. It will be 4 over 8. Its simplest form will be half. This is the x coordinate. To find the y coordinate of the vertex, we find f of half. f of half means ان انا باجي على الايكويشن اللي عندي واحط مكان كل اكس هاف، لان انا جبت الاكس كوردينيت بهاف، فهتبقى 4 times half power 2 minus 4 times half minus 5 equals 0. By using calculator, the result will be -6. This is the vertex of the curve, half and -6. After finding the vertex, we form a table like that, x and y, and we put the vertex in the middle of the table. أنا هنا عملت تيبل فيه كام كولوم؟ 1 2 3 4 5. يبقى لما اجي احط الفيرتكس احطها في الكولوم الثالث هنا الهاف وهنا -6. عشان اكمل باقي التيبل بختار numbers smaller than half و numbers bigger than half. لما اجي اختار 2 numbers smaller than half، ايه اول integer smaller than half؟ 0. طب الانتجر اللي اصغر منه -1. طالما اخترت 2 numbers smaller than half لازم اختار 2 numbers bigger than half. طب ايه اول integer bigger than half؟ هو 1. اللي بعديها هيبقى 2. بعد ما وصلت للشكل ده الانترفال بتاعتي هيبقى الستارت -1 والاند 2. هروح بقى للكالكليتر واستخدمها علشان اكمل بقية التيبل. هنروح على الكالكليتر عشان اكتب برضو الايكويشن اللي عندي ديت، بدوس مود وبختار 7 اللي هو تيبل اف اوف اكس. بكتب الايكويشن اللي عندي 4x باور 2 minus 4x minus 5 equals g of x. ما بنكتبش حاجه. الستارت اول نمبر للاكس احنا جبناه في التيبل اللي هو كان -1، فبكتب -1. الاند اخر نمبر للاكس احنا جبناه في التيبل اللي هو كان 2، بدوس ايكوال، ما بكتبش حاجه في ستيب، بيطلع لي التيبل. طبعا انا دلوقتي محتاج هنا من التيبل الفاليوز اوف واي بس، لان انا اصلا كنت جبت الفاليوز اوف اكس. الفاليوز اوف واي اول فاليو اوبوزيت للنيجاتيف 1 هي 3، فباجي قدام النيجاتيف 1 واكتب 3. بعد كده الاوبوزيت للزيرو هو النيجاتيف 5، فقدام الزيرو هكتب -5. الهاف والنيجاتيف 6 هنا مش هلاقيهم ظاهرين معايا في الكالكليتر. طب ليه؟ لان الهاف هنا فراكشن والتيبل ده ما بيطلعليش فيه نمبرز فراكشنز. فهنخش على البوينت اللي بعدها. ال1 الاوبوزيت فاليو ليها عايزه من التيبل اهو، ال1 الاوبوزيت فاليو -5، فهيبقى عندي هنا -5. واخر حاجه ال2 الاوبوزيت فاليو ليها 3 زي ما احنا شايفين كده من الكالكليتر، فهكتب هنا 3. بعد ما استخدمت الكالكليتر هقدر اكمل التيبل بالنمبرز ديت من الايه؟ من الكالكليتر. كده بقى التيبل اللي عندي جاهز ان انا اعمل جراف للفانكشن. بعمل دروينج الاكس اكسس والواي اكسس، ادي الاكس وادي الواي اكسس، وبحدد البوينتس. بقى الموضوع خلاص عادي جدا زي ما كنا بنعمله قبل كده. اول بوينت -1 و3، -1 و3. تاني بوينت 0 و-5، 0 و-5. The third point half و-6. Half lies between 0 and 1 in the middle and -6 here. So this is half and -6. The next point 1 and -5. 1 and -5. The last point 2 and 3. This is 2 and go up to 3. Then we join these points to draw the curve of the function. After drawing the curve, we note that the intersection with x-axis at 2 points, this one and this one. This point approximately equal 1.7 because it lies between 1 and 2. And this point approximately equal negative 0.7. And this is the values of x that we get from the graph. We notice that the two roots are 1.7 and negative 0.7. And with this step, we have come to the end of lesson 1. Thank you and see you later in the next lesson.